What's up, everybody? Hey, this is Phil from Walmart Right Lane Trucking, coming at you on Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday for everyone. So this is my Monday. Had a good weekend. Didn't really do much over the weekend. Just kind of took care of the first day. I really didn't do anything. I just lounged and watched movies. Day just went really fast on me. The next day I had some honeydews, or a honeydew that I needed to do. Hanging curtains and curtain rods in the different rooms. So be careful when you're on a ladder. I almost took a tumble, but it is what it is. I didn't fall, but be careful on those ladders. All right, let's get the infomercial out of here. Walmart's hiring, guys. Still hiring. Every day, still hiring. Right above is my driver number and name, location which I'm out of. You don't have to be from the Sacramento area or in Northern California. You could be applying in Wisconsin. I don't care where you apply. But you can still use my number as a referral. So keep that in mind when you're applying. If you're thinking about Walmart and you wanted to know what we do, that's why I started this channel. One of the reasons I started this channel was to put some more content out there that anybody was considering Walmart as a possibility. This is my experience. Now, I've only been with Walmart now going on my 7th month. Halfway through my 7th month, right around Thanksgiving will be 7 months exactly. And yeah, I'm having a great time. Great time. And like I've said before, is it always perfect? Definitely not. If you're thinking that it's going to be a perfect situation, no company is perfect. You got to come in and weigh your own pros, your own cons, and figure out what you're willing to work with. Like some guys, girls don't like uniforms. Some guys, girls, truckers want to have specifically their own tractor from day one. It's not going to happen here. You might, at least they're not going to promise you that. And the uniforms is non-negotiable. You have to wear the uniform. Now, the good thing is you can wear the uniform, like the shirts. You'll see I wear a white shirt. I have blue shirts. But I wear jeans. Like during the summer, I wear the uniform shorts. They're dark blue shorts. And I have the dark blue pants too. But I also can wear jeans, so I wear jeans. I like wearing jeans. If you're a trucker, you're wearing jeans. Now, if you're some of those other truckers that's driving around in your pajamas and your shorts and your flip-flops, and yeah, that's not what Walmart wants to see. Especially if you're delivering to the stores. Keep that in mind. So, make sure, that might be a deal breaker for you. It wasn't for me. I don't mind the uniform. It's a very comfortable uniform. So again, if you're applying, my driver number and name is right here. And in the description, I'm going to leave a name, phone number, contact, email for a recruiter. Now, she has her specific region, but she can patch you into the recruiter in your area and whatnot if you have any other questions. By all means, if you have any questions that I can answer, go ahead and leave me a comment and I will get back to you. So, my day. Yeah, it started out rough, real rough. So I got to the yard, not a problem there. Got to my tractor, not a problem there. Logged in, saw that I had a load already in my board for a relay trailer that was going to go to Marysville, the store in Marysville. Now, I've been to Marysville several times, once with my mentor when I first started, and the other time was a couple other times. So I'm familiar with the store, the exit, everything else. They have 3 grocery docks and 3 GM docks. Now, the GM docks are separated from the grocery docks, which is really nice. So they have a trailer there. It's a rental reefer to give them some extra storage for frozen, I think it's frozen goods. And then they had, let's see, they had one trailer on the end dock, and then the middle dock was open. That's what it was when I got there. Now, so I backed up right away to the open dock. And I've been there before, and shouldn't have been a problem. So I backed up, went inside, and they're getting somebody to come unload me. Now, I was going to open up the door, the inside, the building door, and then my trailer door, and get the ramp all set up and everything else. And I'm pulling up on that door, and it's heavy door. So I don't know if you guys have ever had this happen at home, but you know, you have your garage door is usually on a spring, right? Or springs. Sometimes they have 2, multiple. The bigger the door, the straighter up it has to go, the more springs you need. Usually it's either 1 or 2, just depends on how heavy the door is and how big the door is. Well, I look up, and the spring, one of the springs is broken. I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to lift this door. I'll wait for the guy to come back and we'll lift it together. Anyway, so I'm parked there. I'm still waiting. The coach comes out to me. I actually went back out to my truck because I had to get something, and the coach came out to me, and he asked if I could move the trailer that was on the end dock off and park mine at that other door because of that broken door that I was at. And mind you, that trailer still had product in it. And he's like, we're going to get that offloaded, and then you can go ahead and move that out. Okay. So I move it out, get it all done, back up, and I'm still waiting. And now, this dock, the door opens, but the air system for the docking plate doesn't work. So they have to have a metal ramp that spreads the gap between there. Their electric pallet jack is broken, out of service, so they're doing it all manual. And I have 20 pallets for them, all one store, and it's a reefer, so I can't just do a drop and hook. I've got to wait for that reefer. And so I was there, gosh, almost 3 hours, probably 3 hours at the store waiting for them, because one of the second pallet that they're pulling out, I was standing there and off to the side, and the associate was pulling it out, and he hit that plate, and I don't think he had the pallet raised up high enough, and I think it caught the plate as well, and it just kind of stopped. Well, the bottom of the pallet stopped, but the rest of the pallet did not, and it came collapsing down into the store, into the dock. He looked okay when I left. He said he was fine, but he did get he was trying to save it. And yeah, that's not a good thing, because it was all like juice, orange juice, creamers, heavy kind of drinks, that type of stuff. And it just came collapsing down. And he didn't get seriously injured, but he could have. And then I was right there, and if I wasn't paying attention, I might have been in harm's way. So, guys, if you're at a shipper, receiver, and you happen to be around the dock when they're loading, unloading, pay attention. Don't just trust that they're doing the right thing all the time. And so they got that one cleaned up, and then a couple pallets later, they drop another one. And, you know, part of it is because of that docking plate ramp is not a good situation. And the fact that the pneumatic docking plate, the air one, doesn't come up. And, yeah. So I was there for a long time. So they finally get me done. And I'm in the tractor. I'm actually pulling out. And a young lady that I didn't see while I was in there at all. She wasn't around at all when I was in there. And she comes out and she's flagging me down. And I guess another driver came in and parked the trailer, dropped it, and left. I think he took that empty that I put off to the side and left. I want to think it was the remix trailer. He just did a drop and hook and boned out. Well, he parked it in the door that I was originally in, the middle door, which doesn't work. So as I'm getting ready to pull out, and I've already hit the part. I'm like ready to roll. I'm about ready to head towards the freeway. She's waving me down. She's like begging me. She's like, can you move that trailer there over to the other dock? Are you kidding? Now, they can't move it, right? They don't have the equipment to move it. They got to unload it. So the right thing to do is to say yes. Even though I didn't want to, I hate doing the right thing sometimes, but because I needed to get to McCarran. I've already wasted 3 hours of my day at this store. Now I got to waste some more time. And so I'm like, all right. So I dropped my empty trailer, coupled to that, moved it over, then coupled back to my empty trailer and got on the road. It's the right thing to do, right, guys? I mean, it's the right thing to do. I did it. Now, I paid myself for it too. That's undocking trailers and moving them and everything else. So I got paid for it, but the problem, you know, it just puts me further behind on my day. And you know me, I like to get in, get out, get my next load and go. So, all right, so I get going, and now I'm on my way to McCarran with the empty reefer. And the other thing I saw, which I'm glad I grabbed, because when I first got there, that other trailer that was on the dock, it's a dry van, and it had several cargo straps for the McCarran DC. They're yellow. They're for the cargo to hold them. I took the time to roll them up nice and neat and stash them in my truck. So now I have a few extra cargo straps, and in case I get a load that doesn't have it, or I need more than one, I have some extra cargo straps on here. But when I see them just like thrown down inside the trailer or inside the warehouse or store, I should say, that irks me. That's just somebody being lazy. Because when I'm done with my cargo strap, for example, the one load I had, which was the reefer, it only had one cargo strap at the back. Now, all pallets were for them. And so what I do is, here's my OCD kicking in again, right? So the hooks have to face the right way. So it wasn't, so I had to take the whole thing apart, put it back together so both the hooks are facing up the way they're supposed to, and instead of having a twist in the rope or in the strap. I don't like that twist in the strap. That's, to me, it's tacky, and it just, I don't like it. So then when I'm done with it, I always connect one end at one location, spread it about 6 feet apart, connect the other end, and then pull it tight, and then wrap the excess kind of into the loop of it, so nothing's touching the ground. That way, when it gets to McCarran and they open it up, they know exactly where the cargo strap is, and they have it there ready for them to use, and it's nice and clean, crisp, and ready for them to use. That's doing the right thing. That's a trucking 101. That's also just doing the right thing. Taking that extra little bit to do it. Alright, I'm on the way to McCarran, and I get my dispatch. Wow, like right after I left, I pretty much got dispatched. And I listened to it, and I'm going to Dinuba. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to make the ETD now. I might have made my ETD had I not been flagged down by this young lady. But even then, it was going to be pushing it. I'd already taken a meal while I was there, so I didn't have to stop for a meal on the way to McCarran. And it was like 165, 170 miles from that store to the DC. So made it there, got my load, got fueled, parked the empty trailer, got my load sheet, and got out of there as quickly as I could. And got on road. So I'm trying to brace myself, going, okay, how much time? Oh, I got to take another meal. All right, how far can I get? So I got to Nyack. I had to take my second meal. And so I took my second meal, got going again, and now I am in Madera. Yeah, at the pilot. That one pilot that I said that I couldn't get internet service. Now, I pull in with 13 minutes left on my clock. 13 minutes left on my 14-hour clock. I really don't have an option. So I go around the yard one time, and it's full up. Again, if you don't get into truck stops early, you're really not going to get any real good parking. And so I did notice before I came in that there was some reserve parking still available. So I swung around the free part of it first, and then ended up over in the reserve parking, went in, paid for the reserve parking, and that's where I'm at now. So I'm in the reserve parking right across from the fuel island in Madera at the pilot. So hey, Walmart's paying for it, not me. So you guys that are maybe watching this, you're like, oh, what? Walmart's going to pay for reserve parking? Yes, Walmart will pay for reserve parking. Obviously, this is as far as I can get. And there's no other parking. They see that I'm coming in so late. I just turn in the receipt, pay for it with the card, turn in the receipts, and now, do I do it all the time? No. I'll overnight at the DC, I'll overnight at a rest area. I don't use and abuse the reserved parking privilege. Well, they never said how many nights you could or could not do it. I try to use the stores more than I try to use anything else. Either stores or DCs. That's where I like to overnight and lay over. But a rest area would be next. But there's no really rest areas for where I can get to and still get the mileage I wanted to get for today. So I ended up my day with 518 miles. Yeah. Even with that fiasco at the beginning. So luckily traffic, I didn't hit a whole lot of traffic tonight. That really helps. The construction down 99 is not horrible right now. And when I looked at the route earlier in the day, or before I left, there was an accident in Turlock. Obviously, I figured that would be cleared out by the time I got there. So I got lucky there. And yeah, I got 518 miles. So from here to the store that I'm going to in Dinuba is, let's see how far. I'm gonna say it's about 64 miles. I haven't even looked at it yet. I think it's about 64 miles. Oh, I was off. It's 58.5 miles away. So just about an hour's drive, just close to an hour drive from here. I will have to adjust my ETD because when I first put my ETD in, I don't know what I was thinking. I thought I had more time. I had more drive time, but I didn't have enough on my 14. Plus I had to take another half an hour meal, which counts against my 14. So that half an hour, if I would have left an hour earlier out of that store, the first store, I definitely would have made it to the store tonight. But the problem is even if I made it to the store tonight, this load is for tomorrow. So it doesn't really matter. Unless they have an empty ready for me and I can do a drop and hook. I'd rather them fully unload me, but it's going to be 26 pallets. So I'm hoping tomorrow when I get there in the morning that they have an empty and I can just do a drop and hook and get back on road. That's what I'm hoping. I don't want to sit and wait for 30 or 26 pallets to be offloaded. But if I have to, I have to, one way or the other. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Pretty good day, actually. 518 miles. I had the hook. I had the arrive. I had the live unload. I had the arrive drop, the other hook. So 5 activities, not many activities, but when I got there, I had to do that swap at the beginning. And then when I was about ready to leave, I had to do that other swap again. So those are undockings, and I put that on there. Plus I get paid for that time that I was there just sitting past the 45-minute. So I had detention time in there as well. So that paid off. I, believe it or not, made over $400 today. So not a bad day today, actually. I am on track to make just over for this pay period, depending on what happens tomorrow. But I'll be over $4,000 for this pay period, which is pretty good. I try to average $2,000 a week, or $4,000 for the pay periods, because $2,000 a week, if you watched my other videos, $2,000 a week times 52 is $104,000. So I'm trying to stay up near that $2,000 a week to see if I can get over $100,000 in my first year here. Now, with the bonuses, and that's not including bonuses or incentives or anything else like that, any potential raises that come or possible raises that come. That doesn't account for any of that. So that's just strictly me getting hopefully $2,000 a week, and I only need a couple hundred, about 250 or so, to bust the 4,000 for the week, or for this pay period. And tomorrow's my last day on this pay period, so it should be pretty easy to do. It's going to be all miles depending on where they send me, but it's like 350 miles from McCarran to the store. So, and I'm 58 miles away now, so if they bring me straight back to the store, then that's 350 miles straight back to the store. Most likely what they'll have me do is, because I'll have a dry van, is I'll probably pick up a vendor on the way home. And when I say home, back to McCarran. But they might send me to Porterville, and from Porterville to SoCal, or whatever. I don't know. You just never know where they're going to send you. So somebody said to me, do you get the same route all the time? No, I don't. I get the same start time, and I get my tractors. That's it. So safety tip for tonight. Has to do with moving your eyes. Okay, so when you're driving a vehicle, it doesn't have to necessarily be a semi-truck, but you want to move those eyes, right? You want to move your eyes in such a way that you're staying in a triangular viewing pattern. And when I say that is, your eyes are ahead of you, right? Then you're going to check a mirror. Then you go back to the front windshields. If you're going to check your passenger mirror, then you go to your passenger mirror and then back to the front windshield. If you need to look at a gauge, you look down at the gauge, then back at the front windshield. You should never close that triangle off, though. You should never go from your left mirror to your right mirror, because your eyes are off the road in front of you that much longer. So you want to stay in that triangular viewing pattern, but never go mirror to mirror, mirror to gauge. So if I'm looking at my mirror, I then look down at my gauges, I'm still not looking at the road and what's in front of me, the driving scene ahead of me. You don't want to stay on gauge to gauge. You don't want to stare at one gauge and then go right to the next gauge, and then maybe, you're looking at all your gauges all at once to see where each of them are. If you're going to look at your oil pressure, you're going to go from the windshield down to your oil pressure, back to your windshield. If you're going to then go to your air pressure, down to your air pressure gauge, back to your windshield. And then if you want to look at your temperature, your coolant, down to your coolant or your water temperature, and then back up to the windshield. You want to substitute that. You want to look at those when you know there's nothing in front of you, right? When traffic allows. Substitute a mirror check with one of your primary gauges, air, oil, and water, when traffic allows. Okay? So again, I said never go mirror to mirror, mirror to gauge, or gauge to mirror. Okay? So those are the four things you never do. You want to stay in that triangular viewing pattern. You want to keep your eyes up front so you can get the big picture, so you can see what's going on, right? You want to keep your eyes ahead of, as we used to call it, the car, ahead of the car majority of the time. And then check your mirror every 5 to 8 seconds. Now you could check your left mirror, back to the front, check your right mirror, back to the front, check your left mirror, back to the front. You'll find that you're going to check the mirror that is closest to the traffic more often than the mirror that's closest to the curb or to this side of the road. For example, right lane trucking, if you're in the right lane, that right lane is just a soft shoulder over there. There's not a lot that would come up that side, but you can't always think that way. But the traffic flow is going to be mostly from your left side, your driver's side at that point. So front, left, front, left, front, left. Move those eyes. Moving the eyes also lets you see the big picture. You could see a car coming up on your backside that is going to turn in front of you. You could see a car that's speeding, that's really cutting in and out of traffic a lot. You could see mechanical problems with your vehicle, such as a blown tire, smoking brakes, anything like that might show up in the mirrors. So you got to be looking for that. And then you're also looking for lane position, right? So you want to look in that mirror to see if you're centered in your mirror or not. So those are the three things: traffic conditions, lane position, and mechanical problems that you want to be looking for in your mirrors. But keep in mind that you want to scan. You don't want to stare at that mirror, because if you stare at that mirror for too long, you're taking your eyes off the road. And if you're staring at the road for so long, you don't know what's coming up on the side of you. And you don't know if you're staying in the lane or not. So it's scan, don't stare. All right, guys? So that's my safety tip. That's how I used to train. And then we'd go out on road. And then I'd have to stay with the student and go, hey. And I would sit on the passenger side and count how long between each mirror check it took. 1001, 1002 in my head. And then I'd finally go, are you going to check a mirror? It's been like 20 seconds since you checked a mirror. Okay? So check your mirrors, man. Check your mirrors. It'll keep you safe. You'll see those trucks coming up. Especially if a truck is passing you, another truck. Especially if another truck is passing you, you want to check your mirrors. Because I'm telling you, you might be keeping yourself straight as an arrow. But I'm not throwing stones. But some truckers out there can't hold it straight for very long. And they start weaving a little bit. And I'm sure you've seen this, guys, that have experience. You're like, whoa! You're a little bit close on that last little bit there, buddy. They come over a little too early, or they're just weaving too much. But if you never look at them at all, you never look in that mirror, you never recognize the fact that another truck is passing you, and they are weaving or swaying back and forth, they can sideswipe you very quickly, and they won't even know. You know why? Because they're not looking in their mirrors either. They won't even know unless it's so bad that it takes them and jackknives them. Because they swiped into the front end of your tractor and you didn't see it, and you basically did a pit maneuver on their trailer, and it caused them to lose control. That's the only way they're going to know. Okay? So look in the mirror, watch out for your other truckers, and stay safe, guys. This is Phil from Walmart Right Lane Trucking. Talk to you later.